everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count Super. I'm War Machine MJ of the 3 Count Mafia. I'm here today to talk about Smackdown before and after the Royal Rumble. Alright, I'm going to start the episode off with the January 24th edition of Smackdown, where we kicked off the show with the Bloodline. I still prefer to call them the Yard. Roman Reigns and the Usos taking on King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode. Yes, we're going to call him Bobby Roode, just whatever. This was an alright match. However, in the end, the Bloodline got the victory. You know, just punching the ticket to the Royal Rumble. Or the Falls Count Anywhere match at the Royal Rumble. Next, we had a Lacey Evans interview. Midway through it, Bayley got the jump on her. I'm sorry. The SmackDown Women's Champion, Karen, got the jump on her. Yeah. Of course, they brawled backstage later on in the night. Next, we were going to get an Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross tag team match where they took on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. However, it ended in a no contest because Bayley and Lacey Evans drugged their business into that match. Next, we had Braun Strowman and Elias defeating Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Is it do nothing. Next, we had John Morrison taking on Kofi Kingston. This was a fun match. Jomo can still go, but it's not like he's been sitting on the shelf these past couple of years. Jomo got the victory over Kofi Kingston. Yeah. And finally, in the main event, we had a contract signing between The Fiend and Daniel Bryan for their strap match at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, Daniel Bryan was calling Bray Wyatt out to sign his half of the contract when they were interrupted by a special episode of the Firefly Funhouse. Apparently Bray Wyatt was trying to fax his signature with an old fax machine. It's pretty comical stuff. Because he gets on the horn to a customer service and he asks for English or Ancient Sumerian. It's kind of funny. Daniel Bryan then yells at Bray, tells him to cut the crap, get his ass down here. And Bray Wyatt says, well, I've been talking with my lawyer, Mercy the Buzzard, and he told me it's not a good idea to come down there. But he, the Fiend, thinks it's a good idea and wants you to remember what you've done. You know. Which that turned ominous as the lights went out and the Fiend showed up. Daniel Bryan tried to fight back, but the Fiend was too much for him. He whipped him with the leather strap hanging out at ringside. And then the Fiend signed the contract in his own blood. Yes, a week before Tommaso Ciampa does it. It's pretty hardcore stuff. And, yeah. That ended SmackDown before the go-home edition of SmackDown to the Royal Rumble. Next, we had SmackDown from January 31st, which was dubbed Super SmackDown, because they were heavily promoting the Super Bowl. But they're not allowed to say Super Bowl on TV, so they have to say the big game. Which is really, really, really stupid. Because Fox is the one hosting the damn thing. Why do they have to say, you know, whatever. Yeah, we kicked off the show with a Baron Corbin promo. Ugh, yawn. Yeah. The Bloodline and, of course, Corbin's Court, as we'll call him, you know, his Court of Clowns, would have a 6-man tag team match to close out the show, and the stipulation that got added during this promo was The loser has to eat dog food. Hooray. Next, we had a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team #1 Contendership match as Heavy Machinery took on the Revival, say gone, because they're most likely leaving. They've already turned down a big money contract. Anyway, they took on the Lucha House Party, which nobody's seen in forever, and took on the team of The Miz and John Morrison. No surprise here. The Miz and John Morrison got the victory. They will face the New Day for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. Probably win them at Super Showdown. Okay. Next, we had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Yeah, apparently these two teams were jockeying for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. But this was an alright match. Bliss and Cross got the victory. Next, we had Braun Strowman challenging Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, Braun Strowman, he pretty much tore through Cesaro and Nakamura like wet tissue paper to become the new IC champion. It was an okay match, I guess. It was whatever. Afterwards, Sami Zayn was being interviewed about what just happened when he was constantly interrupted by Elias. Hooray. And then Cesaro came out to silence Elias, and he didn't have any well, tried to come out and silence Elias, but he didn't have any luck with that. So, hooray. Glad they're doing something with Cesaro. Yay. Next, we had Sheamus taking on Rod's favorite, Shorty G. Shorty G learned absolutely nothing from his match against Sheamus, and Sheamus still put him to bed in a short match. Next, we had Bayley just soaking in her victory over Lacey Evans when she was confronted by Naomi, who was wearing a dope-ass helmet that made her look like a giant disco ball. Really dope. Yeah, basically, Naomi made it known that she's going to be gunning after Bayley. Of course, she chased off Bayley. So, yeah, that's going to be a fun program. Next, speaking of fun, I actually had fun watching this. It was the Bloodline taking on Corbin's Court, 6-man tag team. Loser has to eat dog food. This was an alright match. However, in the end, the Bloodline got the victory. Afterwards, they proceeded to beat up Corbin's Court, pinning Ziggler and Rude underneath a whole lot of ringside debris, chaining Corbin up to a ring post, and they just splattered dog food all over him. I say dog food because it looked like chili. Yeah, just looked like they smeared a bunch of chili on him. And yeah, Michael Cole took great pride in yelling, "Somebody's going to eat dog food all night." It was a pretty stupid fun moment. I'm glad they wasted it on an episode of Smackdown. Of course, Usos and Roman were having a little bit of fun with it. Roman picks up a big healthy ladle full and just starts flinging it at Corbin. And of course, the Bloodline then dump like 2 buckets of dog food on Corbin. And then they pose by him, like they were trying to set up a Christmas card. Fun stuff. Gotta love it. Anyway, that is the post-Royal Rumble episode of Smackdown. And that does it for this episode of 3 Count Super. I'm going to stop saying the word super like that for this episode because I know you guys are probably sick of it. Anyway, if you miss Rod's opinions, he has a podcast, Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime, on the Castbox app. Go check it out. He's probably talking about the Super Bowl by now. Anyway, that being said, I'm War Machine MJ of the 3 Count Mafia. I'll see you guys next time. Bang.